And we are live. Great. So we are live on our Facebook page, and then we'll basically put it up in other communities as well. Hello, everyone. Long time. I was unable to do any live sessions, even though we do plan to do one every quarter. So we have Kiran Shahbaz with us. She's a co-founder of GoodWork. And I recently posted about GoodWork in the community, and we received excellent feedback from a lot of people, but also a lot of questions about the platform and why it exists and what exactly are you trying to do. So welcome, Kiran, and would really like you to introduce yourself a bit, and then we'll start with the questions.
Thank you so much for having me, Faiza. My name is Kiran, and I'm the co-founder of GoodWork. So GoodWork is on a mission to help 1 million females, starting with Pakistan, gain financial independence by helping them get online jobs with international companies.
Great. Thank you so much. And first of all, thank you so much for your team also for reaching out, and definitely for the initial chat that we had. So what exactly do you guys do? I want to know about the process of basically finding candidates, finding clients, and then doing the placement and everything.
Yeah, so I'll give you a bit of background and how we started. So I'm from Canada. I'm of Pakistani descent. My family's from Pakistan, and I have my partner and I, my life partner, my business partner. We have a couple of online businesses, and so I had started. Kind of by chance, I hired 6 years ago. I think I hired my first hire from Pakistan. I had a local hire here in Canada. She had quit abruptly, and I was scrambling. And I was like, let me just see if I could find someone from Pakistan, because that would be pretty cool, and a female, because that was always interesting for me to help give Pakistani females access. And so I had messaged a couple people on LinkedIn. I hired my first hire, and she was amazing in so many ways. And that was like a light bulb moment, happened for me. And I think it was a really neat relationship, because I found someone so valuable to me for so many reasons. And at the same time, the situation for her was really valuable as well. Like working from home was better. She had issues with like her local employer, so just like a better work-life balance, like better pay. So it was just a win-win situation. And then after that, I almost exclusively started hiring females from Pakistan. And then, so this was happening for years. And, this was kind of like my secret, and it was working really well for me. And I have, a network of entrepreneur and business owner friends in Toronto and in Canada. And I had mentioned this to them in passing, just briefly. It's like, hey guys, like I'm hiring these really awesome females from Pakistan, and it's a great situation. And then actually my mentor, one of my mentors, and, business founder friend, he was like, Kiran, this is really interesting. You should offer this. You should offer this to other people. So we said, okay. So we did a quick test. We reached out to, we're in a bunch of kind of business Facebook groups, and other kind of Slack groups and platforms. So we had just messaged on all of these groups, and like, hey guys, we're thinking of starting this business to help companies in North America or internationally find female hires in Pakistan. Is this something people would be interested in? And we got a resounding, we got so much interest. We had 50 people sign up right away. So we're like, okay, there's something here. There's something really interesting. And so that's how we started. This is we're still in our infancy. We launched our first campaign in August, so it's been 6 months. And so how it works is that my business partner, Irfan, and life partner, he works on the business side. So he's in charge of finding companies, onboarding them. So we basically have an intake form for businesses. So they will fill a really rigorous intake form of the type of hire they're looking for. We get that, and then we find Pakistani females to fit that criteria. And so we do that in two ways. We too are building up, we're calling our good worker community. So we have about 100 females in that have also filled out another extensive intake form with their kind of academic and professional background and things they're interested in. And so we have that database of these ladies. And so we source initially, well, we source from two places. We source from the good worker community, and then we also kind of externally source. So we have a recruiter on the ground in Pakistan who is doing headhunting and who is sourcing like locally as well.
Right. That's really great, and I think a lot of people when they hire women, and especially women who never had this opportunity to find this kind of interesting work online, and they realize that they were missing out on a huge part of the half of the population actually when it comes to hiring excellent talent. So tell us a bit about your team. Who is in your team? What kind of roles that you have in your team at GoodWork?
So we're currently a team of 4. There is myself, there is my partner, who's also the co-founder, Irfan. We have Naveen, who does our community management for the town side. And then we have Anam, who is our recruiter in Pakistan.
Right. Yeah. So I was reached out by Anam actually. Yeah. Right. So next question, why only female talent, and that too from Pakistan only? Why don't you, why aren't you working on in some other demographic or in some other country?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've gotten this question before. So why only female talent is like, this is personally, this is like my jam, like female empowerment, financial independence. My actually academic and professional background before I got into business was international development. So, this was always in my realm. Like personally, I'm really, this is my mission. This is my personal mission. And so, yeah, so that's why females, Pakistan, because I am Pakistani. So what a great place to start, but your own backyard. Yeah.
Right. So, Anam, what kind of, Kiran, what kind of roles that you usually recruit for? You must have hired a few people right now. You told us about someone that you hired for your own business. So what kind of roles are these, and what kind of skill level is required for them?
Okay, so I'll tell you all the specific roles that we've hired so far. We've either hired for or we're hiring for, so I'll name those off. And the skill level is really dependent on the job description that the employer creates with us. So we have junior to intermediate to senior. So literally people, this will be their first professional job, and then people who have 6, 7+ years of experience. So the range is quite wide. I'll just read off now all of our past or active campaigns. Faiza, do I have you? You're frozen for me. I don't know if that's me or you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I think this is my internet actually. So I don't know if you caught that, but from junior to intermediate to senior, so we hire for all the roles, and I'll just read them out, all of the roles thus far. So we have outbound sales, recruiter, social media manager, front desk officer, Instagram creator and manager, a blog VA, project coordinator, video editor, videographer, e-commerce manager, Amazon specialist, sales and marketing associate, software developer, admin assistant, executive assistant, customer support rep, operations associate, bookkeeper, accountant, and digital marketer.
So
you can see the range is quite wide.
Yeah, so there are a lot of different kinds of role for all different types of people. So what is the usual kind of skill set that you think that you think is a must have? So do you need people who are really fluent with English? You are looking for people who can write really well. What exactly are you looking for in a person other than the actual hard skill or the technical skill?
Yeah, I will say at this point, our main criteria is that like English and clear communication. We're actually, you know, so that's basically our baseline. Like that's how we vet or we screen for our good worker community. Because everything else can usually be trainable. I will say we have, and we know that this is like by this standard, we're necessarily excluding a bunch of people, and we don't want to do that. Like we have plans to in the future, like offer trainings and like help people to improve their English so that they can be accepted. But currently that's a standard.
Right. And what about the salaries and how are they coming to these women that you hire from Pakistan? Are they coming from you or the employer? And what are the usual ways in which you pay?
So that's also a really good question. So once we develop the job description with the employer, we do market research, like the GoodWork team does market research we try to find comparable roles comparable roles in similar regions at a similar level. And then we present that research to the employer, and we tell them that we strongly recommend that they hire within the top range of that. So currently the rate, like you can see all of the jobs we've done so far. So the ranges have been, our lowest has been 60K and our highest has been 200K. So quite a range as well, depending on the job.
Right. And these salaries are coming in PKR and from you directly.
Yeah, like we give this recommendation to the employer. Once the employer accepts, then we post the job, but the employer pays the employee directly. We don't cut, it's a direct relationship. We kind of just do the matchmaking and vetting service, and then we step back.
Right, right. That's awesome. So the next question that I have is about how does GoodWork make money, and is it a nonprofit or a for-profit initiative?
Yeah, we are for-profit with a social mission. So we charge a one-time recruiting fee for employers. So we charge a matchmaking fee. After that, like I mentioned, we don't take a cut. So we're not like Upwork or Fiverr. We don't take any cut from the salary. So that you get 100% of your salary from the employer. And then, of course, for our good workers, we don't charge anything. Everything is free. It will always be free. And we also offer like free trainings and workshops to make you a more attractive applicant.
Right. Great. So let's talk about your own team. So do you have a fully remote team at GoodWorks, or do you have an office?
No, we don't have an office. We actually did have a local office in Toronto before COVID, and then like everyone, we realized that wasn't necessary. Yeah, my partner and I are in Canada, and then Naveen is in Islamabad, and I think Anam is also in Islamabad, but she could be in Thailand for all we care. Like it doesn't matter.
Great, great. This question, Anam, sorry, Kiran, I was asked, for some reason, I keep on calling you Anam because I think Anam was the first person that I spoke to. So sorry about that, Kiran. So do employers usually hire in their own time zones? Because I have experience with Upwork. I've been working on Upwork for a while now, and I've worked with Upwork closely as well for a lot of their campaigns. So I have seen that on remote opportunities, employers are usually hiring in their own time zones. So what has been your experience like in that?
Yeah, I would agree. I would say usually yes. So you're looking between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in their local time zone. But sometimes there is flexibility. Like we've also seen cases of they just require maybe like a couple of hours of overlap. So you can work, 6 hours during the day or during whenever you want, and then you just ask for some, so they could have meetings and whatnot. And then we have also hired, we also have employers who don't care about that at all. Everything is asynchronously. So it's just like communication via email and Slack.
Right. I'm seeing quite a lot of people are watching us. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people are watching us, and I'm seeing a lot of questions on the comment section as well. So let me finish my own questions, and then we can start with the ones that I'm seeing on the comments. So what does a usual recruitment process look like?
So it depends if you are a good worker, that is, if you're already in our vetted talent community, or whether you're external. So if you're external, for instance, like we also post jobs on LinkedIn. So say you're on LinkedIn, you see a job from GoodWork, so you'd apply. It's quite an extensive application. It's about 10 minutes or so. And it's a mix of course, like your relevant experience, but we also ask for like audio and video if you're comfortable, your internet speed, your LinkedIn, like it's quite thorough. And then after we receive all the applications, we as a GoodWork team, we screen every single candidate. So every single candidate will go through our eyes. After that, we create our shortlist and our recommendations and assessment to the employers. The employers get our shortlist, they go through it, they create their own shortlist, which then they share back with us. After that, GoodWork does a first initial screening call to make sure we still think it's a good fit. Once you pass the screening call, then you will be invited to actually interview with the employer directly. So which is usually 30 minutes or so. So you'll have your 30-minute interview. If you pass that, usually there's some kind of test challenge, which is paid, no more than an hour. And that's kind of the final step. And then the employer will make their decision after the test challenge. And then hopefully you'll be offered the job.
Right. So this was, so sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so that's the externally. So for the process for good workers, if you're already in the vetted community, the process is very similar, except the first step is much shorter. So it's a much shorter application for you because we already have your data from your initial application. And I will say good workers do have a better chance of being on the short list because we already know you and we can vouch for you because we have a personal relationship with you.
Right. And for being a good worker, they have to fill the application form on your website that we have already shared with the community, correct?
Yeah. And I will say, and like another, I'm just going to plug GoodWork in again. And the other benefit is that we provide we'll provide training, whether you're external or internal. Like we want to coach you in the whole application process. So if you need help with the application we will help you with that. If you want to prep for your interview, we will help you for that. Like we're in your corner. We want you to get this job as badly as you want to get the job. So yeah.
Right. So one of the questions on the comment section was about screening. Yeah. So let me just finish my last two questions. So how many placements have you done so far? Are you comfortable sharing that number? How many women that you have hired from Pakistan?
Definitely. So we've successfully placed 13 females, and then we have 9 active campaigns right now that we're currently sourcing for. So hopefully it'll be more than 20 in the next couple of weeks.
Great, great. And the last question from my end is your business GDPR compliant? Also, how seriously do you take data privacy and security as you do collect personal data from applicants?
Yeah, this is a great question. This is also not the first time we've gotten this. We're, as I mentioned, like we just started in August, so we are currently not GDPR compliant. Eventually we plan to do so, but we do take your data really seriously. Please note that we don't share it with anyone beyond the GoodWork community. Even in our initial shortlist that we present to the employers, we don't even share your name or your contact information there. We scrub all that data. We only share it with them once you've been shortlisted from the employers. We also don't sell it, of course, or use it in any other way. If at all, we would ever do that, we would ask for consent, but rest assured we're not using this data for any other reason except for recruiting purposes.
Right. And if someone requests you to delete their data, do you have the capability to do that?
Definitely, yeah.
Great, great. So, Kiran, there are a lot of questions on the comment section. Few you have already answered, so I'm just not looking at them. So Sahar Sayed has said that I've applied through the form on GoodWorker's website. Is there also any other step, or am I a part of GoodWorker now?
So thank you so much for applying. I will say we have a backlog of a lot of applications that we need to go through. Rest assured, we will be reaching out to do a screening call. So once you apply, so you filled out the 10-minute form, thank you so much. After that, someone likely Naveen will be in touch with you to book a screening call. So it's coming, but we're just a little bit behind schedule right now.
Right. And please, I hope that it's not because I started pushing you guys everywhere.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Faiza. It's like, yeah, no, we love it. What a great problem to have, to be so busy. So like, thank you for bringing people to be like, we want our community to grow. Yeah, the goal is 1 million females, right? So let's do it. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so another question is from Simi Muhammad Ali. She's saying, what about those who are not comfortable in sharing a video, but okay with doing a video interview?
Not okay, or like would share, like uploading your video, but okay with like a Zoom call. Right? Yeah, that's totally fine. So, but we do ask for the audio in the initial intake. I mean, to be honest, most people just do audio, so it's totally cool. It's just like another added benefit that the employer can actually see your face for the shortlist, but it's not a big deal at all. But we do encourage you to do the audio, so we have a sample of your spoken English.
Right. Another question is that do I need to do IELTS for be part of the GoodWork community? This came from Fatma Ali.
Sorry, do I need to do?
So there is an English testing I think, exam called IELTS. So she's asking that, do you need the results of that for applying to the job?
No, we just screen based on your audio.
Okay, great. Yeah, so another question is, so Sahar is saying, thank you for answering it. You're welcome, Sahar. Another question is about what is the usual length of a contract when the employer hires a person from your platform?
1 year is typically what we recommend and what happens. 1 year with usually like a 1 to 3 month probation period.
Right. That's actually a standard here in Pakistan also. So it's usually 1 year. Yeah. Another question is from Sadia. She's saying that I am a mother and I left my jobs a few years ago because of kids. Do you guys also offer some part-time opportunities for an ex-engineer? You can never be an ex-engineer. You're always an engineer. You can be someone who left your career in the middle, maybe, but not an ex-engineer. Yeah. So yeah, do you guys offer any part-time opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. I would say most of our roles are full-time, but we do have a few part-time opportunities as well.
Great. Someone also asked the question that, okay, so they're asking that, do you have any roles in emerging technology or software development?
Yeah, we definitely have in software development. We've hired for that. Emerging technology.
It's mostly AI, blockchain, IoT.
I got it. Currently, I don't think we have any of those, but I don't see why we wouldn't in the future.
Right. Another question is that, can I apply even if I'm a student?
Yeah, yes. I will say, though, that if you're applying for a full-time role and you're a student, that is a bit of a red flag for us because we're thinking, how can you manage both? So if you are a student and you're applying for a full-time role, I would recommend that you just make a note to see how you would manage your life in such a way. And a part-time role, yeah, definitely that's not a red flag. And sorry, just for the previous question, I do recall that we have had like React and Python roles in case that's relevant.
Yeah, definitely. Again, way too many questions that you've already answered. Another question is about appraisals and payroll. So you've already answered that they'll be on the employer's payroll, but do you help them with any kind of performance reviews, appraisals, skill building, anything, negotiations, maybe?
Yeah, that's a really good point. So yes, if you ask us, like we definitely have helped our good workers like ask for a raise after their probation. So that's a service we offer. And then in terms of payroll and stuff, we also have recommendations for the employers of how they go about this. So typically it's like Payoneer connected with JazzCash to, you know, make sure the fees are as minimum as you can. Yeah, and we also help the employer. Like we have a number of full-time of like first-time companies that are hiring their first role. So we also support on the employer side as well.
Yeah, because it's for employers who have never hired a remote person before, there are a lot of questions and things that they need to answer. And in some cases, the right kind of infrastructure also needs to be in place in terms of software and attendance and checking in and a lot of these things. Definitely. So another question is that for any of the roles, do you look at the right educational background or just the skill set?
That's a good question. So full disclaimer is I'm not on the recruiting side, but I will tell you when we started this, I was doing all the things. So for me, because personally, I'm not familiar with like educational institutions in Pakistan. I don't know if, you know, the difference in them. So I was not looking at that at all. I was just looking at their, for me, I was looking at their spoken English and I was looking at their experience, but more or less, there's this one question. This is a tip for everyone listening. There's one question in the application that asks you where you see yourself in 5 years. And I would just go directly to that question because I want to hear their passion, I want to hear their energy, and I want to hear like that gives me a very good feel for who they are. And then of course we have like their CV and LinkedIn, and you have your written intros. But I will say our system has since been more sophisticated. So on top of that audio, we have Anam, who's in Pakistan, from Pakistan, is like very familiar with like the Pakistani recruiting landscape. And so she's like balancing these out a bit better. So she is looking at education, although that's never, like you'd never be excluded if you don't have any formal education. You know, we try to take a holistic approach. And personally, if I can just talk about myself, like the drive is the most interesting part for me than anything else.
Right, absolutely. And I think in Pakistan also initially, because I run a coding bootcamp called CodeGirls, and we see that in the beginning, like 4 years ago, companies were really concerned about hiring someone with at least a graduate degree, even not an engineer, even if it's not an engineering degree. But these days, of course, with startups coming up and people understanding remote jobs, and they understand that skill building is important, and there are so many boot camps done by private and government entities now. Degrees have kind of become irrelevant, especially for tech and these support and operational roles. So they are just looking for people with the right skill set and the right mindset to get the job done. Payal is asking, do you have any roles related to Java programming language?
Java specifically, not currently. I don't think so. But you can always send us an email and we can confirm.
Okay, and this is going to be the last question because we just have 1 minute remaining. So the question is that do you guys do you guys help women with re-entering in their careers or reskilling themselves?
So we have started to offer workshops. So let me just, so the plan is in the future, yes. And currently we are offering more soft skill workshops, like how to best prepare for an interview, how to fill out your application properly, how to present your best self, re-entering specific career. We haven't done a workshop on that just yet.
Right. Thank you so much, Kiran. I can see a lot of inbox messages to me right now, but I think that's like a lot of information coming from you to them. That's good enough, I think, for now. I will repost the link in the description of this video as well. This will be available on our Facebook page. I'm going to share the link with you if you want to reshare it. And then I do hope that you find some good candidates here from Pakistan and are able to place them. Thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Faiza. If I just may say one thing, because you're doing a coding plan, I will say that we found that people with like a coding engineering background make very well, like even though that's their background, they apply for like different types of roles, and they just take those technical skills and they apply them, and they're more valuable candidates. So I don't know if I can mention that, like if you have an engineering or some kind of coding background and you want to apply to like a non-engineering role, we strongly recommend you do that, because that just makes you all the more attractive.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And we also see that in CodeGirls and other boot camps also, that a lot of women wouldn't want to work in a technical role, and they do have the educational skill set for that, but they choose to do something more, in most cases, more creative or more operations related, and that's of course wonderful. We need more women working, and that's the goal that we all are trying to achieve. Thank you so much for your time, Kiran. I really think that it was a very helpful discussion for women, because the moment that I post about GoodWork, there were a lot of questions coming my end, and I wanted to make sure that you are there to answer them, rather than me giving secondhand information and maybe saying something incorrect. So yeah, thank you so much, and good night, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.